The wedding had reached the ring exchange. My husband, Adrian Blake, stood there, but it was Sienna Lowell, his beloved, who appeared in a wedding dress, standing right in front of him. She looked at him and asked, "Adrian, you once promised me that if I ever wore a wedding dress, you'd marry me in the next life. Does that still hold true?" In an instant, Adrian's eyes reddened. He pulled Sienna into a tight embrace and said, his voice thick with emotion, "Yes. In the next life, you will be my bride, and only you." Sienna shot me a smug look. "Eleanor, you'll have to take good care of Adrian for me." Guests murmured among themselves, eager to see me make a fool of myself. I stood there, watching the two of them kiss passionately, completely oblivious to everything around them. With a smile, I shoved my bouquet into Sienna's hands. "If that's the case, why don't you just marry him? You're just the other woman. No matter how sweetly you speak, it won't change the truth." 8 years of marriage, and I swallowed my bitterness, bending over backward to please the Blake family, all in the hopes of saving this loveless, business-driven marriage. Then, unexpectedly, I got pregnant, and that was when the Blake family finally agreed to give me a wedding. I thought that with a child on the way, Adrian might finally come around. But right now, he was still holding Sienna, the one he had always cherished, kissing her as if the world didn't matter. My heart twisted in pain as I bit my lip, trying to hold back the tears. In that moment, I couldn't take it anymore. Why did I always have to sacrifice for everyone else? Because of my words, Sienna went pale, almost collapsing into Adrian's arms. "Adrian, I feel so sick. Is it my condition acting up?" Adrian's face turned pale as he scooped her up and rushed out of the hotel. Before he left, he turned to me, furiously shouting, "Eleanor, your jealousy is completely irrational. If anything happens to Sienna, I swear I won't forgive you." Neither Adrian's parents nor my own father could stop him. The cameras flashed relentlessly, and the priest stood awkwardly beside me. My father slapped me across the face, his anger erupting. "You worthless fool. Can't even keep your husband." With that, he told me to think things through and left me standing there, alone. Adrian's mother shot me a cold look. "Eleanor, don't blame me for saying this, but why are you throwing a tantrum in front of everyone? Now you've driven Adrian away, and all anyone's going to do is laugh at both our families." To Adrian's mother, being married to him meant swallowing all your hurt and never humiliating him publicly. How ridiculous. If that was what was expected of me, then I wouldn't marry him. As the guests trickled out, I walked outside, clutching my wedding dress, watching the cars drive away one by one. The storm was fierce, lightning flashing, rain pouring. Behind me, the once bustling banquet hall stood empty. When the Blake family's car finally drove off, my father's car pulled up in front of me. The back window rolled down, revealing my father's grim expression. The hurt I had been holding inside hit me all at once. I bit back the tears, my voice trembling as I said, "Dad." Just as I reached for the door handle, I heard the sound of it locking. I froze in disbelief. My father's voice was cold with fury. "Eleanor, this marriage was bought with your mother's life. You'd better reflect on yourself and find a way to win Adrian back. You're carrying his child now. No matter what, Sienna can't compete with you." I couldn't believe my ears. "Dad, what are you saying?" He ignored me, ordered the driver to start the car, and with the window rolling back up, the car sped off. The hem of my wedding dress got soaked by the rain, and as I watched the car disappear into the distance, the tears I'd been holding back finally began to fall. The hotel was on top of a mountain with no signal or taxis. I borrowed an umbrella from a staff member, noticing the pity in her eyes